Aloha mai kako, Joe Souza here from Kanileo Ukulele, actually sitting right in our milling department. And I'd like to share with you a little bit about on where we receive and how we grade our koa wood. Really, the journey for the ukulele and koa starts in the forest. So koa is found only here in Hawaii. It's endemic to our Hawaiian Islands, meaning it's found nowhere else in the world. It's really found on the 4 major islands, on Hawaii Island, Maui, Oahu, and Kauai. The elevation where we find koa is anywhere between the 3,000 to 5,000 foot elevation. So it grows at that really wetland forest that we find on the Mauka or on the mountainside of the islands. So koa's primary use for us as Hawaiians was as our va'a or canoe and how we voyaged from island to island. Also, the papahe'enalu or surfboards as we know it today were made from koa. Even Hawaiian weaponry, we use koa because it was such a hard wood. So now koa is considered one of the best tone woods because it grows at a higher elevation. That higher elevation growth leads to a slower growth rate. The slower growth rate gives the wood greater lateral strength, yet the wood still has elasticity or the ability to vibrate. And that's why it's become such a popular tone wood for guitars and ukuleles alike. So koa varies in color depending on what island and what medium it grew in and the different elevations. But koa and its prized red and orange colors that we all really are so fond of typically is found in a very volcanic area. So where we receive our koa wood from and how we get these prized colors is really from a unique place on Hawaii Island. So that prized curly koa that we all look for is really rare and hard to find. Although curl is found in many wood species, in this case koa and curly koa particularly is really rare. And the reason why it's found typically in the stressed areas on the tree. So where the weight of the tree tends to push down onto the tree and the trunk of the tree, that's where we'll find a lot of that prized curl. Or even in the crotch, where the branch comes off of the main trunk. A lot of times we'll find some prized curly koa in there too. On an average, curly koa is probably less than 10% of what nature really gives us. So that's why it's so prized and really hard to find. In fact, there are some times where we find less than 10% of curl in the tree, just because of the different medium and the different weather conditions that the tree is facing. You know, historically, when we would grade koa, it was graded on a musical instrument grading system, which is typically called an A system. 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, and of course 5A being the really prized and select pieces. Well, now those A systems have really got convoluted and we're into 6A and 7A. And for Kanileo Ukulele, we really narrowed those choices down to become select, deluxe, premium, and master grade koa. So we'll go ahead and take a closer look at some of the different grades of koa that we have. First, we have what we call select koa. And this koa really is beautiful in its color and its grain, but typically only has anywhere between 0 to 30% curl. This is what we would consider select koa. Next, we have some deluxe koa. And the deluxe koa, in this case, you can see the color is very beautiful and the curl actually is different in a sense of it has anywhere between 31 to 60% curl on the workpiece. Now, when we start to look at premium koa, this is where the prize curl really shines. And in the premium koa, we'll have curl anywhere between 61 to 90% of the workpiece. And then, of course, the elusive master grade koa, where master grade just shows all of its beauty and all of the glory that koa has to offer, literally 91 to 100% of the workpiece. When we look at grading koa, we do look at grain and color, but primarily we're looking at curl and how we can measure that curl by percentage on the workpiece. So sapwood on koa typically is closer to the bark or closer to the new growth of the tree. And we love sapwood because it has such a beautiful contrast to some of the heartwood or the darker pieces. In fact, on this premium piece of koa, you can see how when we book match the workpiece, we're able to really bring out the beauty of the sapwood and that lighter color that is so striking when we book match the workpiece. So sapwood in all its beauty really brings nothing bad to the instrument. The structural integrity of the instrument is fully in place, and that's why really we love to integrate sapwood, because it looks beautiful and it has the structural integrity that we're looking for. So really, when we look at these rare and priceless gems of master grade curly koa and premium curly koa, how will we ensure that there's koa in the future? That's why we as Kanilea Ukulele, we plant a koa tree for every ukulele we build. And that tree will live its life in the native forest to ensure that 100 years from now, an ukulele could be built from this prized tonewood. So you can visit us at kanileaukulele.com, or go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see more of these videos as we introduce you and you get better insight to who we are as Kanilea Ukulele. And smash that like button so that you know for sure we hear you, baby. Aloha.